What's going on, guys? Albie with Albie Fitness Gaming, and you've seen the title of the video. You know why you're here. Domain Zoo. So I have a new list here that I've been working on. If you guys have been following me, you know that I have been very big on Wrenn and Six in the deck. It's been so far pretty good for me. So I really like what this card adds. I've tried it with combination with Teferi in the main deck. I've also tried Siege Rhino before when I first started testing out Domain Zoo, and I was very impressed with this card. It was very good in it. But, you know, now we're coming back to it. Now we're coming back to Wrenn and Six and Siege Rhino. I've played probably like 4 or 5 games already, and I'm, pretty happy so far how the list is performing. Siege Rhino is, surprisingly, it's still a really good card. It is 4 mana, but we do have the Wrenn and Six to help us hit our land drops every turn. Surprisingly, casting the Siege Rhino hasn't been too much of an issue. It's more of a late game, mid game threat that you want to be playing. This deck, normally, one of the ways that you lose is you either get really close to killing your opponent and you just can't get there. They end up grinding you out. Siege Rhino can close the distance. It's also another 4 power, 5 toughness creature that allows you to use Stubborn Denial. It's just another huge threat. And with Scion of Draco here, let's see what it gives. It Vigilance because it's white, Lifelink because it's black, and it already has Trample. So, I mean, it is a pretty brutal creature on the battlefield. We removed the 2 Remands, the Dromoka's Command in the sideboard for the Wrenn and Six, and then for the Siege Rhinos we removed the Ragavans. Now it could be debated whether we want to remove the Ragavans or the Wild Nacatls. I personally like Wild Nacatl better. That's my opinion. I think Ragavan is a powerful card. The card is ridiculous, don't get me wrong. But I personally like Wild Nacatl better. The games where I draw Wild Nacatl in my opening hand and multiples, and it's just, I feel like I have such an advantage. I really like this card. I think it's very good. Where Ragavan, it's one of those cards that it's amazing when it connects, but most often than not, and it doesn't really connect. And, but that's just my opinion. I think you can go either way. I can see people saying they'd rather cut the Wild Nacatl than the Ragavans. I personally like Wild Nacatl better. The lands, same configuration of the mana base. We have not changed anything. One thing to keep in mind with Wrenn and Six is that your Triomes can now be cycled and put back into your hand. So that's one interaction to keep in mind. That way you're not fetching out both of your Triomes if you don't need them. The sideboard, pretty straightforward. Jegantha, 2 Teferi, 2 Rest in Peace, 2 Consume All. Prismatic Ending's been pretty good, so we're going to leave it there. 2 Wear and Tear, a Dromoka's Command, 2 Veil of Summer, and 2 Remand. So nothing crazy, just straightforward sideboard. So let's go ahead and get into a game here. And when I create these lists and I play test these cards and I give my reasoning why I'm playing these cards, just so that people understand, I'm not saying that these cards are better than the core cards that usually played in Zoo. That's not what I'm saying. I'm just testing cards out and seeing if these cards are good. Some people, like myself, we like to play certain cards. And if the cards that we like to play are good enough to play in a deck that we enjoy playing, we're going to play them, right? We're going to play them. Because at the end of the day, we're here to have fun. At least that's the way that I see it. And if I can win by having fun, I'm double dipping, baby. Let me make sure the mic is on here. I mean, not the mic, the volume. There we go. All right. We got 2 Triomes. We have a pair for Domain here. We're going to keep this. We don't have any fetch lands to take advantage of the early Wrenn and Six, but we have some interaction and we have a threat. I have won games on the back of Wrenn and Six. Okay. I believe I've played against this player before, and they're on some type of fairy deck. Excuse me. Sorry, I had to wipe my nose there. It's getting a little chilly here in Florida. It doesn't happen often, but when it does, you can feel it. Alright. So, we could lead... We don't have too many lands, right? And we have a Siege Rhino, so this is probably not bad. Whatever we play here could get countered by a Spell Sprite. So, and again, I mean, I'm assuming that's what they're playing. We could go Wrenn and Six. That doesn't really do much right now. Let's go ahead and just do this. Oops. Get our threat on board. And then next turn we have Bolt Up. We have Stubborn Denial. We got a lot of things we can do. Depending if they play a small creature, we have Wrenn and Six. And then we have our top end with Siege Rhino here. Okay. Player saw the Wild Nacatl and just said, you know what, I've seen enough. I don't want to play against this. I mean, I wouldn't want to play against the Wild Nacatl either. I think what happened there is they probably had some type of play, and they misclicked and ran through the phases, which happens quite a bit. Hopefully we can get some more games in. It is an early Monday morning, so I'm sure a lot of Magic players are still sleeping. Alright, we are on the play. We will like our companion. Let's close this out. And this hand, we don't have a threat. I mean, Wrenn and Six could be a threat, but we have a lot of interaction here. And an early Wrenn and Six against some decks, if we can control the board, is really problematic. Alright, so what do we grab with this? Probably a Temple Garden. If they have a Ragavan, we grab a Sacred Foundry. Or some type of 1-mana spell that we have to get rid of. Creature. Actually, if they have a Ragavan, I think we could either bolt it or we can just play the Wrenn and kill it. But then, most likely, if they're playing a Ragavan deck, they have Lightning Bolt. And I don't know if I want to lose my Wrenn and Six. Wrenn and Six can be a very powerful threat. Oh, Boggles! Boggles? Alright, this is a deck that I haven't played against in a long time. Like years. Interesting. Alright, so we want... What do we want? We definitely want green, right? We're going to need green. It's a no-brainer there. And we draw it anyways. I think we have to just jam the Wrenn and Six here. I'm not sure how this matchup goes because I've never played against it. But we do have Leyline Binding, which is pretty good. Our creatures are pretty big and they come out pretty fast, but we don't have any threats. We do have a lot of burn spells, so if we draw into some creatures and we can at least hold them off, we could win just by burning them out. When it enters the battlefield, create a 1/1. First strike, yep. It's a pretty good card there. They usually are pretty scared of like Liliana of the Veils or those sacrifice cards, so adding an extra 1/1 helps a lot. The question is probably for them is, do they go after the Wrenn and Six or do they go right after us, right? What does this do? Has Vigilance. Okay. So far, not a very threatening Boggle, and the Wrenn and Six doing a really good job here of soaking up some damage for us, buying us some time. Two Leyline Bindings, not bad. Let's, we need another red source here, so I'm gonna grab the Triome. We don't have white activated yet. But we have Bolt. Do we Tribal? You know what? Let's Tribal Flame them here. Better use of our mana. Hopefully, they go after the Wrenn and Six here, because that would buy us some time. Luckily for us, they have some pain lands. Okay, that's definitely a huge problem. Totally forgot about Daybreak Cornet. But I know it works. Let me see. What another? Okay, so we'd have to, if we get rid of both of these, that thing falls off. Okay, so luckily for us, they attack the Planeswalker, right? Alright. So if we get rid of both of these, the Daybreak Cornet falls off. But we have no threats, which is becoming a problem. A Siege Rhino off the top would be really good, actually. Alright, so we're going to take these two, and that should drop off the Cornet, the Daybreak. Need something here. Get another Boggle, not too bad. Another one. Okay. Siege Rhino off the top would be pretty good. Whoo! Woohoo! Just what the doctor ordered. This is going to buff up our life total here. It also gives us something that can attack through them. long as they don't get anything too devastating here, they could start sacking their Horizon Canopies. Yep. I don't mind another Siege Rhino off the top, by the way, ladies and gentlemen. So if we can get that, that would be great. Okay, another one. Okay. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I mean, they could kill our Siege Rhino if we attack. Would they do that, though, is the question. Jeez, another land. That's brutal. Hopefully they don't draw anything too devastating here, and we should be in a good spot. Okay, that's good news. They still have 2 mana, so they could have 2 spells. Six, 7. Okay. This guy has vigilance. Do we fetch here? I think we have to fetch. We gotta be able to double spell next turn. Okay. We could get there. I mean, I think we should be able to. Siege Rhino? Siege Rhino? Siege Rhino showing its strength. Alright, so let's see here. This is pretty good. Dromoka's command is good. These are good. Wrenn and Six, not the best. Stubborn Denial is a little slow on the draw. I think that's it. I mean, we could bounce enchantments with this, but I really like, again, like I said, I really like what Siege Rhino adds to the deck, man. It really allows you to make those little comebacks. And Wrenn and Six being able to pick up an extra land, even if that's all it does, soak up some damage, it might have seemed like it didn't do much, but it really helped us win the game there, right? Because we were at 3, and it soaked up over 3 damage, and it was able to get us an additional land to cast the Siege Rhino on time. I mean, we only played 1 threat that game, which was our boy, the Siege. Alright. So we lost a die roll opponent thinking I think in that last game, opponent went in a little too aggressive. But at the same time, you know, we're playing a zoo deck, so you don't want to give us too much time. But maybe they could have held back a few creatures and just attacked, and maybe, you know, and hope to draw something. But I don't know. I don't know what they had in their hand. This is decent. We got some good interaction here. We got some threats. Probably gonna lead with Nacatl. Okay, no first turn bobble. That's good for us. Okay, this is good too. They could be playing. They could have boarded in Path to Exiles. We're gonna grab a Breeding Pool here. Normally these decks they play Path to Exile. They could probably replace it because again I haven't played against Boggle in so long. They could have replaced it with Prismatic Ending, which I think Path is just better in their deck since they're only a 2-color deck. Okay, Boggle. I think what we do, depending on what they play, is do we Dromoka's Command, make them sack it, put a counter, and just get in? I think that's what we do. We have so many other ways to interact with them that I think that's what we do. Right? It's better than just trying to jam a Kavu. Alright, no blocks, like expected. Cast. Choose a target. Choose target player. What we can do here is if we could probably keep them off if they have to tap out for 1 enchantment per turn. We can keep them off for a couple turns, get in with our 4/4 Nacatl, and then eventually end the game with a Tribal Flames. What is this? Whenever it enters the battlefield under your control, if you cast it, you may search your library for a card with mana name and you control. Alright, so we're gonna want to get rid of this. This seems like it could be a problem. So we're gonna Prismatic Ending here. I wish we had a land, but we don't. And like I was saying earlier in the video, how I really like Wild Nacatl over Ragavan. I mean, you're kind of seeing it here, right? Wild Nacatl could just be a beater on its own, especially in combination with Dromoka's Command. But Wild Nacatl is pretty much like the Green Delver. Gadok Teague. What does Gadok Teague doesn't stop anything in our deck, right? Yeah, I don't think it stops anything. Interesting. Whoa. I'm not going to shock here. We need to preserve our life total. So, an Allure off the top, plus Daybreak Coronet could be a problem. But I don't think we can just sit around and not do anything. Okay, Rancor. Okay, no Daybreak. That's good for us. Huh. I'm going to take this 3. Okay, so they got nothing. A Daybreak Coronet could be pretty bad. Do we need another green? I don't think so. We need 2 red. Stubborn Denial off the top. That's a good one. Okay, so we can give our creatures trample, which is good. So let's do that. And then we can hold up Stubborn Denial for whatever they have. We should have this. I'm fine with that trade. Alright. So, they can only draw, they could, what can they draw here? I can't think of anything. I mean, they could draw like a path or something for this. I mean, we can counter whatever they... There was the card that they needed. Alright, so we got there. Alright, my friends. Well, it's been a while since I played against Boggles. I remember back in the day that used to be a pretty annoying deck. I'm not sure how good it is now, because the cards are so much more powerful, so much better. The decks are so much aggressive. In those games, we were able to see the power of the Siege Rhino. We were able to see the power of the Wild Nacatl. This is why I prefer Wild Nacatl over Ragavan. I'm not saying that it's better. I don't want people thinking that. I'm just saying it's the card that I prefer to play with more often than not. I'm a lot happier when I see it in my hand than the Ragavan. Anyways, Siege Rhino showing its power there. As you can see in that one game where we were behind, Siege Rhino was able to actually win the game. So, yeah. But if you guys have any ideas, any questionings on my plays, comment at the bottom. Any tips and tricks, maybe misplays that I did, things I could have played better, comment at the bottom. Thank you guys for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, share, and hit that notification button. I post every day. And again, my friends, thank you guys for watching, and peace out.